And welcome back to 0800 Tardis News. So, I hope you enjoyed the little talk we had about the Armageddon Expo. We'll also show you some clips where Sylvester McCoy's doing the spoon dance. Plus, I've also managed to ask him a question while we were there about whether he would consider relocating from the UK to New Zealand and would he take up permanent residency or citizenship. He said he might be a bit interested, but I'll show you the recorded version of it. So now we'll be crossing live to the UK where we've got Owen Freach from the Doctor Who Appreciation page. So how's it going, Owen?
It's good, thanks.
That's good. And, so what made you become a Doctor Who fan?
Well, I was a Doctor Who fan since I was a child and I was brought up watching it. But as I've grown older, I've just grown to love it more. I'm not quite sure why that is, but...
At least you got the experience over there where you can actually listen to have Doctor Who more readily available. Because, I know in New Zealand, we were the second country in the world to get Doctor Who after the UK, but we have had it in drips and drabs. Like, when it first came with the Christopher Eccleston days, which was the first episode I saw, Rose, it kind of came a bit... I think it was 2006 when it came to New Zealand, which I know in 2005 it was launched in the UK. And that was partly the start of me getting hooked, even though it took about 4 years before I really got hooked to it. Yeah. Actually, try having me watching the Five Doctors, and it confused the hell out of my mother when she saw 5 Doctors there. And now, you probably know the person, Helen Worth, she plays Gail Platoff, or what's her current name? I think it's McIntyre of Coronation Street. And she swore black and blue Patrick Troughton was her companion, even though actually... I think she played a story where John Pertwee was there. It was nowhere near the companion stage. It was just an additional character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing I've sat there and looked at. So probably what was your first episode you got brought up with?
I know that there's earlier than this one, but the first one I can actually remember watching is The Empty Child.
The Empty Child. Oh yes, yeah, I do. Yeah, remember that? Oh god, that was going back a number of years. Yeah, actually no. Watching it, yeah, that was 2010, 2011 when I started probably getting right into it, and then just getting a bit more stupid as it's gone. If you take a look over here, you got to see the video collection. That's just some of the videos. Yes, I've still got PAL videotapes. I know they're old and ancient, but they still do the job. Yeah, if you sit there and look at it, I paid $200 for the whole lot. So it was quite good. It was about 50 videos.
That's quite good, actually.
Yeah, so they were ranging from when Doctor Who started, launching the video. I think that was 1993. They started launching more into the video market, which was when it got cancelled thanks to now. What was his name? Was it Michael Grade who ended up cancelling it, or was it just he just put on a hiatus during the Colin Baker era? When the show got cancelled in 1989, I know Michael Gray put it on hiatus in 1986, I think it was, or 85, in the Colin Baker era, before it went to Sylvester McCoy. But was he, did he partly cause it to, cause the cancellation of the show, considering they called it like the black sheep of the BBC?
It's interesting to ask that question, actually. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. So also, what sort of collections do you have with Doctor Who? Like, how many, what's it called? Doctor figurines, Daleks, DVDs? Would you like to ramble them all off?
I've got a few things. I've got my screwdriver here.
Oh yes, I remember you telling me you're going to get it across, yes.
Yeah, I'll just go and get my Daleks.
Okay, yeah. Wonder what colour the Dalek will be. Since got a bit of time. Oh yes, one of the newer versions of the Daleks. Yes, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
This is one of the Supreme Daleks, and they got this cheap actually because it's missing one of its little balls. So I got it for only about £1.
Oh, God, that's a good bargain. Gee,
yeah, I was
that's-
really pleased with that.
yeah.
I've got this big one here.
Ooh, that's a good decent size there.
Yeah, and it's remote control as well, but I've lost the controller somewhere in my room.
What is it looking like a tip? I mean, okay, on camera it looks pretty clean, but if you look down here, it looks like there's a hole of stuff. If you look behind the cameras, there's a lot of junk sitting on the floor and all sorts of stuff. It's a bit interesting how it's, how do I manage to sit there and film a show that looks brilliant and there's so much around? Yeah.
I've also got this. Can you see that there?
Okay.
Do you remember when
Oh.
the doctor...
Oh, the Doctor's Diary that River Song has.
No, it's
Oh,
not
no?
actually.
Oh, okay. What?
It is a diary though. Do you remember when he was human teaching at that school?
Yes, yes.
And he had the dreams, and he wrote down all the dreams in the book? Yeah?
Yeah, yes,
This is
yeah.
a replica.
Ah, I see. Not the original, I assume it's a replica.
Yeah.
And who's your
Alright.
also, who's your favourite Doctor?
Ooh, that's hard.
I know, it's a bit of a difficult question over here. Classic hero is definitely Tom Baker, even though I feel like I relate better to Peter Davison, probably because, at 22, and I'm trying to think, he was 29, 30 when he played the part. He was a lot younger than the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally like Chris Eccleston.
Was that because
Oh.
that's the first one you remember?
Yeah. And he just has really funny moments. Like, when he took Rose to see the end of the world, and then the song came on, he just started dancing. I find that hilarious every time.
Oh, I know, it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, now who do you think could be the 12th Doctor? Who's probably a good person that could take over the role in the UK?
Oh, I really have no idea. I mean, I would like it to be Benedict Cumberbatch, but he's already doing Sherlock and a few other things. And I think that if you incorporate him into Doctor Who, it will make it seem a bit cheaper than it is.
Yeah. Alright, well, over here, I don't know if you've heard of him, Rhys Darby, but he has been voted on the 0800 Tardis poll as voted, probably, if a Kiwi could be the Doctor, he would be one who could do the role very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about?
Not the person, but...
Yeah, he's famous for doing 2 Degrees ads, but that's probably, means nothing to you. It's one of our telco companies in New Zealand.
No, I have no idea.
Also, one of the ones that got put in there, mentioned here, was Jermaine Clement. You might have heard of him on Flight of the Conchords. He was mentioned as one of the, preferred candidates.
Yeah, I haven't heard of, many famous people. I just concentrate on a few, like Benedict Cumberbatch, and that's me, and people like that. And then I just ignore all the rest.
And did you see that little, hoax? I've been given the role as the 12th Doctor by someone who looks like he's 17.
I did see that, actually.
Yeah, I saw that and I was thinking, well, if he is the Doctor, oh yes, please, I want an interview with you. But, the reality is, it's not quite so easy to get it. Once they've got star status, it's a bit hard. I got a response from John Barrowman's agent, who said, I'd love to be part of an interview, but no, he's a bit busy at the moment. But don't worry, I've still got my eyes on him.
That's really cool.
Oh yeah, don't worry, for a page that we've only got 1,200 likes, we do a hell of a lot of work and effort into it.
I'll be recommending your page to a few of my friends, because it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I know. And how do you like my telephone number? 0800 Tardis.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I know. It was a thing. In 1997, Tom Baker came over to New Zealand to do some ads with the New Zealand Superannuation Fund, and they had the specialty 0800 number Tardis. But here's the thing is, after about 12 months, it got disconnected. So from about 98 to 2012, because that's when I got the phone number connected, it pretty much lied dormant. So then I put in the porting request and voila, they gave me the number.
That's so cool.
Oh, I know, it's such a laugh, you know. I mean, would that be possible in the UK? I don't know how long your 0800 numbers are. I mean, over here, where they're usually 6 digits, but what are they over there? Would you be able to get 0800 Tardis, or would it have to be the Tardis?
I really have no idea. But I mean, we don't really put words into the end. I mean, like, I understand when there's words, but we just don't say it like that. We just have like 0800, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, or like this one, 0800 827 347. Which is, you know, what it breaks down once you put the letters into numbers on Tardis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a house over my road. I would show you it, but I can't move my laptop there. It's good enough so you can see it. But it's called the Tardis. And every day I walk out my house and I think, oh, I wish I lived in the house.
There has been one house, and I will be trying to get some filming around on it, but there's a house in Peppercofi, about 20 minutes north of Wellington, and there's this guy, and it's got, just a bit out of the house, you have a police box with a couple of doors, and then you sit there, open the doors, and you walk inside, and it's like walking into the TARDIS that's a lot bigger. I've so got to get that. I mean, it was my guy who does the warrant for my car told me about that. Because I went off to the Doctor Who convention up in Auckland. Strangely enough, why couldn't they have one in the capital? But that's what happens when they send it to the biggest city in New Zealand. And I sat there and so we were like talking about while doing the warrant, and he said, I went to a party and this is what happened when I came to the house. Yeah, so it's, it was one of those things. I plan to do this closer to the 50th anniversary, is sit there and, go around for 0800 TARDIS, touring fans all over New Zealand, the North Island of New Zealand. I don't think I can afford the ferry to go to the South Island. Probably the same thing like you guys crossing the ditch to go to France. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
At least you don't need a passport in New Zealand to head to the South Island yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on the other part of Doctor Who fan, what do you normally do for a living, apart from, having, being admin to, countless pages?
Well, I'm at school at the moment. I just do that, and I sleep, and I watch Doctor Who, and I eat. That's like all I do. Eat, school, Doctor Who.
So you haven't even got yourself a part-time job?
No, I could if I would, because I want to buy a lot of stuff.
Oh yes, trust me, money talks. If I didn't get my job at the lovely big British, petroleum as they call it, BP in Levin, I probably wouldn't have got to the convention in Auckland. So it was one of those things that working talked and helped make things happen.
Yeah.
Even though I am doing graveyard shifts from 10 PM to 6 AM, which are the pits to do, but hey, it's work. It's better than the Dole department or the Winds office. You guys call it something different over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's work and pensions or one of those sorts of departments. They're all ruthless as each other and as mad as each other. So, what sort of New Zealand's films or TV shows would you know anything about? Since I assume they do play them over there. I don't know if they do Shortland Street over there. That's our Coronation Street of New Zealand.
I don't really watch much TV except for like Sherlock and Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But they probably do play a few here. I'm not sure though. I'm not the right person to ask for that.
Oh, okay. And would you ever consider travelling halfway across the world and coming to see little New Zealand with a population of 4 million, not 48 million?
I would like to go to New Zealand. It seems like a really nice place, much better than England anyway.
Don't worry, we've got our own in-house resident pub at work, Trev. He's all the way, I think he's from South England, but yeah, he's managed to move halfway around the world and works for a company that's owned in, his home country.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah, Trev, one of the people I work with at work, he's, what do you call it? He came all the way to New Zealand. Don't ask me how he ended up in Levin. That's a good question, because it could be class as a whole, depending which way you say it, because it's got higher than average unemployment. He came all the way to this from, what do you call it, South England.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, I don't know. He said it was probably one of the best moves he ever did was moving out of England. But I want to go there at some stage. I mean, just to see BBC Wales. I mean, that's one thing I want to see in the UK, particularly is BBC Wales. Plus, I also have some of the family heritage and. Yeah, I'll shoot the guy if you mention the other guy's name, but it's doing World's First Steam Engine, Richard Trevivick. But you probably might have also heard of the other name, George Stevenson, which, definitely not part of the family, but, he, was from Cornwall, and I want to check out, that area since, I'm one name off the, what do you call it, was it the name, which is my mother's maiden name, Trevivick? Yeah, so...
Yeah, that name rings a bell, actually.
Yeah, World's First Steam Engine, but it depends which book you read, because one happened in South Africa. Richards was built in South Africa, but got published later because he had to get on the boat all the way from was it South Africa? No, I think it was South America actually. Had to get all the way back to to London to get it published. While George Stephenson at the same time got a similar working locomotive working. But didn't quite get there in sync. So one got published first, but one happened first.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually. How that can make a difference.
Yeah, and amazing how at that point in time, the 1800s, everything revolved around Britain, as it was called there, the British Empire.
Yeah.
You're glad it's nowhere near like that now, otherwise we'll probably still, be part of the British Empire. Not the British Commonwealth, as it's more known now.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about that? Do you think they could do a good Doctor Who episode about possibly to do with the world's first steam engine or something like that? Do you think that could go down quite well in Doctor Who?
If they do it right, then I think it could be brilliant.
Yeah.
It would be hard to pull off.
Yeah, I do think that, because, they've gone back to significant points in time, like the fire of Pompeii. And I'm trying to think, what else have they done that was backwards in time? Shakespeare. Oh, and having to meet Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, Queen Elizabeth II, should she appear in the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who?
No.
No, I think she should appear in there handing the Doctor his telegram telegram for what's it called, however old he is, 1200 I think he is. Oh, I don't know. Can't keep track of the age. He probably keeps lying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what other things in the Doctor Who would you be able to tell us?
Oh, there was something actually.
It's coming there, I know that.
No, it's gone. Oh, we're all trying to remember it though. I'll keep thinking about it.
Okay.
But, Doctor Who over here is pretty big. And it's strange that I've never actually been to the Doctor Who experience in Wales. Because our family has a holiday home in Wales, and we used to go there quite a lot when I was renting it out, and it was pretty close to a Doctor Who experience for us. I really wanted to go there now, but it's so annoying that I can't. And one of my friends in America actually is planning to save up almost £3,000 to get a flight over here. And then stay in a really nice hotel and go to Doctor Who experience just for that. And I think, well, they must really love the show if they're going to spend that amount of money.
I mean, if I won Lotto tonight and I had brought my ticket, so if I've won the Lotto tonight, I wouldn't mind booking myself tickets and I will spend the 10 grand. Well, actually I might fly business class considering it's, a 36-hour flight from Auckland to Heathrow, I would probably, spend the 10 grand and get myself over there, because that's what it's been roughly estimated as. If you are from New Zealand and you want to head to the UK, have at least 10 grand, but 20 grand will do better to go over there. Because, you've got the exchange rate, which it's, what's it? I think it's at the moment it's $2.50 to the pound. With that, it could be even less, but that's because of the way the global recession's gone. But, get over there, because, and one thing would be Doctor Who. I'd love to go to a convention where you could get Matt Smith or what you call David Tennant, because, over here we've actually had our first convention, which was Lords of Time, which was the first one they've ever done. They had 500 more people turning up than expected of an audience of 100. So they were shocked when they got 600 tickets and had to change venues.
Yeah.
We got, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann and Nick Briggs coming all the way to New Zealand, and all of them have said they would love to see Doctor Who do some filming over in New Zealand, or other spin-off Doctor Who shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Hang on. I've lost it, sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll put it on this one. What do you think about a Torchwood stop being on hiatus, as it is at the moment, and do a spin-off show where Alex Kingston as River Song joins the Torchwood team?
That would be really cool, actually.
Yeah, I could see that working. One thing, I do think that could work. Her being a part of the Torchwood team. Because she's, the other one is I'd love to see come back, but I know it's probably not going to happen, is the Sarah J. Adventures, because there were some very good stories done of that. I didn't really get to watch it till the beginning of this year. But it's one thing that, it's a shame, Elizabeth did die.
Yeah, it is a shame. But I really like the Sarah Jane Adventures, and I grew up watching them, actually.
Yeah.
Just like a few of them. Because they only made like one season, and that was the one available when I was a child. And then they made a few more, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's 3.5 seasons, because it was halfway through season 4, I think. That was when things went kind of when Liz died suddenly and unexpectedly. And strangely enough, they managed to get it, like, you probably remember Tommy Knight, who plays Luke Smith on there and plays Kevin, Chalk on Waterloo Road, do keep up with a few things over here. How he managed to appear in that last episode coincidentally, because I know there were more episodes planned that, because he was a recurring character, not a main cast member, he would have floated in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know if you've watched Waterloo Road, but I'm hooked to it.
I've seen a few episodes, but I'll happily watch it if I'm bored.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I have to get to a UK proxy server to sit there and get it, because you know how the BBC locks out international destinations when if you're not from that country, it doesn't like playing to you. So I've had to go through the proxy server to sit there and watch it. It keeps crashing every time. I probably have to reload the show. At least the BBC's got one thing right of, if it loses its place, it just reloads to the same spot.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, TVNZ and TV3, which are the two main TV networks in New Zealand, don't do that. But then they don't crash as much. But then I'm watching it straight off the web, not via a proxy server. So that's probably one of the parts. So is there anything else you want to ask me or anything?
Sorry?
Do you want to ask me anything? Making a two-way interview?
Do you have any, British shows over there except Doctor Who?
What, British TV shows? Oh, we get the Graham Norton show live on the satellite every week. What else do we get over here? We get EastEnders on UK TV, which is, unfortunately owned by Rupert Murdoch. And actually, Prime, which is the network that screens Doctor Who, is also owned by Rupert Murdoch, or shall we say Sky Television New Zealand Limited. I think that's what it's called, or something like that. But, a subsidiary of Rupert's empire. we do get Coronation Street, which is on Channel 1, even that we're 12 months behind. We get Emmerdale, which I'm not sure how far behind that is, but I know it's a bit behind the UK. Actually, you probably might know this. Fraser Hines was in Emmerdale. Jamie McCrimmon.
Yeah, well, I'm not good with names.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I know he played a part in Emmerdale at one stage. Actually for quite a number of years, actually, he was in Emmerdale for... He tried to get Patrick Troughton the job, but no, the cast wouldn't allow that, because it could have been phrased to Jamie and the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's how stupid it was. I'm trying to think. We get Shameless over here. We did get the first 3 seasons of Waterloo Road, however, after that stopped. Which I'm actually going to approach both Sky and, TVNZ, just flicking emails. Why don't they sit there and, do a big catch-up? Because, the broadcasting rights for the show now would be way cheaper than what it would have been when they first were done on the air. I'm trying to think, what else do we get in New Zealand?
We do get Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, we get Sherlock Holmes. There's a few things we get in New Zealand. A lot of it's British, but then a lot of it's American as well that we get. But then we've also got some very good New Zealand shows, and plus we get our fair share of Australian shows.
Yeah.
Which, that's understandable for this part of the world that would get Australia, even that we probably sit there and, they're our best friends, but we always mention them as our worst enemies. And I remember the Rugby World Cup happening, and how do I say it? Whenever it was Australia played, all the Kiwis seemed to have supported the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, have you seen these collections over here? What do you think about that? Now that is the Cybermen's limited edition for the what's it called? Box set of DVDs, which I better show to my camera since pity I haven't quite got the same feed. I've managed to also get a copy of the Masters edition and the Daleks, which these were part of my $200 purchase.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Don't ask me how they got there. That's the question, because I did buy them off someone else who they collected Doctor Who episodes, but they only went down the video path. Because and I think that kind of stopped when I think it was about 2000 or 2001. They kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. So we'll probably see a bit more of you online, even though I know there's a 13-hour time difference at the moment.
Yeah. I woke up about an hour ago. So I only had 20-30 minutes to get ready.
I know, but if you sit there and look at it, it's 8:30 at night over here, so it's quite, but I know it's probably 9:30 in the morning over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the time difference does make a bit of a play on things.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah. It's alright? Yeah. Okay, and coming up after the break, we'll show you our footage from the Armageddon Expo of Sylvester McCoy while he was in New Zealand. Thank you.
First Doctor Who ice treat. Observe a choc top, vanilla and interstellar choc chips. Necros, cloudless skies. Interstellar choc chips. Pity he couldn't stay. Meet Streets Doctor Who with interstellar choc chips in packs of 10 at supermarkets now.
But Doctor Who invented them.
Who else?
And welcome back. Now, we'll show you some of the Sylvester McCoy's footage here. So, first one we're going to sit there and show you is the spoon dance. And we're going to see what you think of the spoon dances right now. Let's kick it away.
Have you heard about the big strong man who lives in the caravan? Have you heard about the Jeffrey Joseph life? When I grin like a man, beat the white, you can bring all the heritage you got. We got a man
answers there. I thought it was a bit interesting, and I'd like to thank Kaz, who you saw earlier in the show, Carolyn Tamakos. She was the one who came and brought the spoons so Sylvester could play them. I'll also show you the was a clip here where I asked him about New Zealand residency and would he consider coming to New Zealand to permanently live, considering he does a lot of work here. Here's what we're showing you.
Would you consider getting New Zealand citizenship and relocating to New Zealand? Consider what? Relocating to New Zealand and making your new home. Oh, yeah. No, I would. I actually do. I love New Zealand. New Zealand is very much, it's very similar to Britain. You know, the Scottish bit is in the south, the warm bits, well, we don't have a warm bit. That's the bit I like about New Zealand. We have warm bits. Even now, sunshine. I don't know what that was in an awful way. What is that? Sunshine? What's sunshine? It's a bit big in the sky. Really? Oh. So, yeah. It's a beautiful place. The food's great, the people are great. You know, the work's great so far. And, okay, what else? Yeah, I like it. It's just the vowels are a bit strange. I mean, I say Tom and you say Tim. Meaning the same thing, I just, what do you mean?
And now, something a bit of a way, we'll show you a bit of how the show started, where Sylvester basically came onto stage, and the guy who was meant to introduce him showed up late. So we're going to be showing, the intro and his first question. Apologies of the reflection with the light, where I got told I was allowed to have my camera. Fortunately, I had to go staring at the gazing of some bright windows, so you can see the scenery of Wellington looking over the railway yards. So you can sit there and have a look at that. But yeah, it does black out a bit where Sylvester is. So, here you are.
You're stuck in the back. You're late. Have you got a note? Right, okay. Yeah, Mike, what's your name? Damien. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand please for Damien! Who's late? So, Damien. Where are you going? Oh, you're going to get your microphone. So I was just going to interview you. Will you sit down there and I'll interview you? How long have you been coming to conventions? Let's see. That's really interesting. Thank you very much. Ask me a question.
Okay, I've got a question for you, Mr. McCoy. Is it your first time in Wellington?
No.
Tell me about your stuntman career.
Yep, I used to fall downstairs for a laugh. Now I can hardly get up them.
Oh,
I just wet myself, excuse me.
little known fact, he has a drinking problem.
Anyway, so far away, talk to me, tell me, ask me things.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome to Wellington up again in 2013. Let's have a warm welcome to Mr. If anyone here in the audience has a question for the great man, we've got two microphones set up on either side.
No. If you've got a question, I'll go now. Put your hand up and I'll answer them.
Okay, put your hand up. Your
Answer
hand
your
up.
question. And I'll let me answer your question.
This is a security nightmare.
Hello.
What? In Dragonfire, you were like hanging with your umbrella. I always wondered, what was that supposed to be?
That was supposed to be a cliffhanger. No, it was. The idea was to turn it. It was my idea. I thought this is a great idea. I mean, why don't we actually do a real cliffhanger, not just a cliffhanger. So I did. That's what we did, and there was a reason for it. I think I was trying to get down to some other level, chase somebody, but in the editing it got lost, so it just became this weird thing, a cliffhanger, which I believe they've repeated recently. I think on the Doctor Who. Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Well, anyway. Hello.
So, as you probably said, it was a good start to the show. So we're going to, last but not least, with Sylvester. What would he do if he got a TARDIS? And I had to yell out, would he go and retrieve the missing Doctor Who episodes? And he actually said he would consider it. So, here you go.
If you could travel somewhere in the Tardis, where would you go?
Where would I go? Well, I'd go, if I was in London, I'd go to, Wellington, yeah. Someone who is this? Yours? That is no way to keep your respect. It is Allah. Yeah, now if I had Tardis, I'd travel from London to Wellington. Such a long way, 30 odd hours. God, let me get here. I'll get back there. Where would I go? I'd quite like to go back in time. I'd like to go back maybe to the time of, the beginning of
Before the BBC threw out the old Doctor Who episodes?
It's alright, I wanted to find out whether that was what really happened. The Romans, I'd like to go back to the Romans. I don't know what you were shouting about. You haven't got a microphone.
The BBC missing episodes of Doctor Who before they get jumped.
Was he saying BBC something Doctor Who?
Missing episodes.
Oh yes. Oh no, really, yes. So what I would want to do is find all the BBC missing episodes of Doctor Who. Actually, it's quite a good idea, really. Some of them might be in Africa. There's a lot of them are found in Africa, weren't they? In the old Raj days. Yeah. Great outfit, by the way. Yes, I'd like to get inside that car. No, don't say it. Don't even think it. Stop it.
So, as you can see what has happened there, Sylvester would be keen on doing that, as one of the things he probably didn't think of, was the missing BBC episodes, along with going back to the Romans. So what we're going to do is we're going to show some of the pictures of who we've rated in our 800 TARDIS poll of possible Kiwis who can play the role of the Doctor. So we'll first show up here with Rhys Darby. I think he could fit very well as the Doctor here. We're followed by Tim Shebolt, the Mirror of Invercargill. Yes, I also remember when he did the Mitre 10 ads, that was when he's the Mayor of Waitakere City. He said about we had a concrete mixer saying, "Now I'm not fixing the cracks of the Auckland Harbour Bridge, but you buy handy tools from Mitre 10. That was a bit of a while back. Okay, then we've got, what's that? Carl Urban. And what do you think about him possibly as a Doctor? What's about Jermaine Clement? And here we've got Rhys Matheson. Oh, and you had to show this. John Campbell from Campbell Live, New Zealand's investigative journalism. And Di Hemwood. I think he could play the role very well, as you can see. What do you think about the look? Temurera Morrison. And what about Jeremy Corbett? I could see him being on the comedy side for one. And we've also got Martin Henderson, who's probably a bit older now and a bit wiser. And we've got Don Brash. And it's a definite no-no. He should not be the Doctor. So I hope you had a good look at all those photos over there. And I'd like to also thank Carolyn Tamarkos for coming in tonight. Hayden Prenkin, who's come and said barely any words on the couch, but hey, that's how it goes. And also like to thank Owen French, who's had a good talk from the UK regarding what's happened. Hopefully with the future we'll get some celebrities possibly in there. I might try and get hold of Rhys Darby, since he's been voted as the most popular New Zealand possibility for playing the Doctor. And I might also see what Tim Shebolt thinks, considering he's a bit easier man to get hold of, considering he's a mere, not an actor. So I would like to thank you here from the 0800 TARDIS team. You'll either see me online, in person, or on the show. Good evening.